For our next company, presenting company number 5, Niehuus. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Founder and CEO, Fast Flower Farms. Niehuus, take it away, please.
You're pretty close. It's Niehuus. Everyone
Niehuus,
butchers
okay.
it.
All right, got it. Thank you.
No worries, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, everybody. Some pretty rock star presentations here. Hard to follow. All right, so we're Fast Flower Farms. We're called Fast Flower Farms. If anyone here understands the economics behind actual cultivation, one of the things you quickly learn is that how fast your genetics flower and still maintain quality matters from a cash flow perspective. We merge science and art to create artisanal cannabis products, not craft. The Michigan cannabis market, which is where we're located, is absolutely crushing. We beat projections last year by $150 million. It's a $3 billion market now. We have the highest average basket size in the US. Current status, we also have a genetics branch of our company. Genetics are the engine of the cultivation car. We're cash flowing that right now. State and municipal license approval, $250,000 in income coming in December. We own the underlying real estate and all the assets on it. Deeply experienced team. And we've put $800K into it already through friends and family and founding partners. And we have $250K closing this month. It was land. Now it's a facility, and we will be operational next month. It's a $3 billion opportunity. Up in the top right, you'll see what we have. Well, LeafLink did us a big favor. The actual growth state by state, 342%, which is 10x over what California did. It's going to continue to grow. We have 300% growth remaining. Branding, super important. We're not just cultivation. We are a brand. The brand ends up being a lot of your IP, along with SOPs, genetics, things like that. And those are the things that can scale and move state to state. So while we are obviously focused on Michigan, we're going to go pretty deep in Michigan. It's a big market. The things that scale are brands, genetics, and SOPs. Consumer experience innovation is a big deal. You don't see a lot of flight boxes around here, but we're doing it. Then we move into, somebody tries our products. One of our 4 chosen cultivars, I have a genetic cultivar library of about 500. We've flowered for, they fit our agronomic data, our agronomic models, and then obviously they're very high quality. And then extracts and concentrates, solventless. We're also an extractor, but solventless specifically. We don't use solvents in any of our extraction. That's the fastest growing, highest margin kind of carve out of the extracts market. And obviously, the extracts market's a very fast growing market. 20 years in the hands-on cultivation experience just between my guys. That does include my cultivation experience. I have another 5 years on that. Exceptional business leadership. This is my 3rd startup, second one that I've owned. Exclusive genetics. The genetics we have on hand. We have a library of 500 cultivars on hand right now. We have developed genetics over about 10 years. So my operations guy was the chief geneticist behind the Emerald Cup product supply company. You guys may have heard of the Emerald Cup, I suspect. So he developed these genetics specifically that yield very well in solventless production, which is a big deal. We don't have to scale the brand, or we can scale the brand more quickly than we can actually scale the build out of the cultivation facility. It's a lot faster. The brand is fast to scale, whereas the cultivation facility itself takes time and a lot of capital to build out. Consumer experience innovation, we've talked about that, and then solventless extraction. Anybody who knows anything about cannabis on the extraction side knows the powerhouse that solventless is, how important it is, and then how difficult it is. If you don't have the knowledge, the SOPs, and most importantly, the right genetics, you fall flat on your face. On the other hand, if you know these things, you can absolutely crush it. The margins here are very, very high. Here in Michigan, there's only one other solventless company. They were just picked up by a company called Pincana. So we will effectively be the only other solventless company here in Michigan. This is the team. They say you don't bet on the horse, you bet on the jockey. I'm a U.S. Army combat vet. Coming back from combat, it was a rough tour. So there was a lot of insomnia. There was a lot of pain. One of the things that definitely helped that was cannabis. Obviously, you can't use it in the military, and that's something I'm pretty adamant about changing. Mike Angelotti, this is one of a lot of the brains behind the operation. He's been doing solventless extraction for 7 years in California under the Emerald Cup Product Supply Company. He's bred all these genetics, and he ran a 20,000 square foot facility there for 10 years. Zach Heinitz, he's been doing cannabis cultivation here in Michigan a little over 10 years. We call him the plant whisperer. And then advisory board are a lot of important people that we take advice from. PRO-FORMAs, 2021, 1.4, 2022 jumps up because we have solvents on the shelves.
That's, you got 6 minutes.
Yep. That's the jump, is the solventless. Advisory round terms. We're raising 1.2. We are 300, 250 in and 300 soft circled. Convertible debt, great terms, 35% discount and a val cap of 10 million. The val cap and the discount work together, which is also relatively rare. Also, there's a preferential payback in that no common stock shareholders can receive any cash dividends until principal plus interest is paid back at the point of conversion of the convertible debt. Questions?
Questions, anyone? Okay, David Wise, go ahead, please.
Hi, Nate. Thanks for the presentation. Tell Sumit I said hello. I'm trying to understand, is it that you're growing genetics specific for solventless extraction and that's where you're looking to expand?
We've already done all of that homework. It takes many years to get that right. That gives us a significantly higher yield in solventless than anybody else. An average yield in solventless is about 3%. Ours do anywhere from 4.5 to 7.
And are you doing that just strictly from the plant? Or are you doing fresh frozen? Are you extracting CO2, live resin?
Fresh frozen, 100%. It's all live rosin. We don't do any distillates. We are uninterested in adulterating the plant, and we just provide the highest quality stuff. We don't sacrifice on quality.
And this market isn't really in existence yet in Michigan, you're saying?
At all.
Okay. All right, those are my questions.
Great. David Cram.
Hey, Nate, also tell Sumit I say hi as well. Seems like he knows a bunch of us. Is the opportunity here on the solventless or is it on cultivation or both? Like, what's your core competency? Both. Maybe I answered that question. And in terms of scalability, tell me how you scale into your revenue projections from a cultivation standpoint. So a throughput of biomass for your extraction.
100%. So there's two ways that the revenue really, that two things that really move the revenue needle. One of them is effectively becoming a white label solventless producer, and that generates a lot of revenue because people just don't know how to do it. The other thing is we have the genetics division that sells to licensed horticulturalists in the Michigan cannabis market here. And then the third one is indeed cultivation. Now the biomass, we have genetics that perform very well outdoors. And we can take the outdoor product, which is the lowest value cannabis product, and turn it into solventless, which is the highest value cannabis product. So you have a margin that's absolutely massive.
Wouldn't you just focus all of your time and energy on doing just that if that's where the margins are?
Yes and no. Having a single source garden is really important for a lot of people, and it gives us a lot of space for R&D, a lot of space for collaboration. It's a good thing to have that capacity. Now, there's a lot more margin developed, that we can continue to develop as we build out. Our next phase of production, we're indoor right now. Our next phase of actual cultivation is going to be in greenhouses, highly automated greenhouses. Now, so then our margins, so then we don't have to wait on outdoor product. We can grow something that has a similar cost to outdoor, a little bit more, but still have those big margins that we control the supply chain, which is the big deal.
Awesome. We should connect. We're looking at some stuff in Michigan from a real estate standpoint, specifically indoor cultivation and greenhouse. So let's connect offline. Thank you for your answers.
Dr. John Thompson.
John, you might be on mute, man.
It drives me crazy when I do that.
Yeah, I was just curious as to how many dispensaries you guys are supplying, and do you have any contracts with that since you got your building?
Yeah, our first rollout is going to be to 10 different dispensaries. We're in conversations about that now. There's a moderate likelihood that we'll actually be engaged, but we have to see about that.
Okay. Any more questions? If not, you have 30 seconds to wrap it up, Nate. Any questions, anyone? No, go ahead, Nate, please.
Absolutely. So we are $250,000 in. We are 300 soft circled for this month. We got a couple of big guys that I think are going to come in and take a big bite. We are specifically looking for, we turned away a little bit of capital. We are specifically looking for people who can add real value to this. We're calling it our advisory round for a reason. Smart money makes a difference here. So if anybody here has a connection that would be good for this, I would also very much appreciate that.